Olá, estamos aqui com o Dr. Stephen Gilligan, que está de passagem pelo Brasil com a formação Trance Camp e também é o cofundador do IAGC, a International Association for Generative Change. E nós vamos aproveitar essa oportunidade para fazer duas perguntas a respeito do trabalho dele. Hi, Steve.
Pedro, hi.
Good to have you
Hi.
here.
Great to be here.
Yeah.
Wonderful to be here in Brazil.
Good.
Good to be here with you.
Thank you. Likewise. So, I wanted to ask you to give a brief explanation about the proposal of generative trance.
Well, there are two words there, obviously, generative and trance. The word generative, I think the best synonym for it would be creative. And we see that creativity is the most fundamental, basic, central part of human being. We know from neuroscience that everything we experience as our reality, we are actively constructing in some way. There are some points in our life where we have to create new things. We're at the end of a certain period. Maybe we get married, maybe we get divorced, maybe we have a kid, you're about to have your second kid, maybe we leave home, maybe we retire. All of those sorts of identity events means that we have to create a new self, if you will, or if we're working in a group or a business, we have to create a new culture. So what the work is really focuses on is how you do that. So that's generative.
Great.
Trance, when we look at creativity, we see that you need this sort of rational, everyday, logical world where there's rules and external reality, but you also need this sort of internal dreamer world, if you will, where new ideas and new visions come from. What we do in trance is build an access to that dreamer world. And then generative trance, how to use the access to that creative dreamer world to produce new realities and produce new results in our lives.
That's great. Thank you.
Welcome.
The other question I have is, I know that in collaboration with Robert Tilts, you have also created generative coaching.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm interested in letting people know what's the difference between generative coaching and what we could call traditional coaching.
Well, traditional coaching, sort of as a response to traditional psychotherapy, has this sense of let's stay in the present, let's identify positive, concrete goals, let's identify the resources needed and the actions that we need to take in order to reach those goals. That's great. And we would call those the bases for a competent life, to being able to have an effective, competent life. Generative coaching, as I just said, the word generative is how to have this creative life where you are able to develop things and experience things that you hadn't really thought of before or aren't just versions of your past. So we apply that in generative coaching, and might say the three main differences between generative coaching and traditional coaching is generative coaching really focuses on the creativity of a conversation. So we're looking to find this sort of conversation where the answer doesn't come from me or doesn't come from you, but it emerges from some sort of conversation. The second distinctive thing about generative coaching is we really focus on what is the creative state. So if I'm working with you and you say, well, I want to create more success in my business, for example, we would say, okay, what do you need to do, organize in your somatic state, your body state? How do you need to organize your cognitive, sort of your verbal beliefs and intentions and meanings? how do you need to organize your understanding of the social field and put that together so that you are in what we might call a super performance state, if you will. So we say your reality is a function of your state, and we spend a lot of attention on finding this sort of upgraded optimal state. So that's the second distinction. The third is we put a lot of focus on the obstacles or the problems or the things that are stopping people, getting in the way of them crossing the finish line. And in the tradition of Milton Erickson, one of my main teachers, and the martial art of Aikido, we really look to see how to have a positive relationship so we can transform these problems into integral resources that allow you this extraordinary performance state.
Yeah. Well, it sounds really great. I'm a big fan. I'm here for the third time, so
I've been doing the work over 40 years. Robert Dilts has been doing the work 40 years. Generative coaching is something that we started developing together about 10 years ago.
Wow.
That sort of integrates the best of each of our work.
Nice. It's a great idea, and it works.
Yeah.
So, last question I have is actually asking you to say a little bit more about this organization you're trying to create, and what kind of needs did you find in the world for that, and that you came up with this idea, the IAGC?
Well, as I say, Robert Dilts, both Robert and I have been developing our respective works for over 40 years. We've been traveling around the world, we've been writing books, we've been working with people, individual and in groups and so forth, so on. About 15 years ago, we, who had been university students together 40 years ago, came together and started doing this work that really has taken off into what we would call a generative result. Yeah. And we find that it is so helpful in so many cultures, to individuals, to relationships, to groups, that we want to create these platforms and these organizations to spread this work to different parts of the world. We see the IAGC, International Association for Generative Change. That is our organization by which we're looking to do that through certification programs, through regional groups such as here in Latin America, through networks of different types, to be able to get the next generation of people really active to produce the next generation of work. So it's actually already happening. We have 8 regional groups. We have a website, generativechange.com. We've got membership sites. You can check it all out on the website. But this is our way of trying to share the work and spread it where no man or woman has gone before.
That's great. It's great. Thank you. I thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you in Brazil.
It's great to be here.
And muito obrigado a vocês. Espero que tenha sido interessante e que possa trazer mais informações a respeito do trabalho que está sendo desenvolvido internacionalmente pelo Steve e também pelo Robert Dilts. Thank you.
Obrigado.